So I want to tell you guys about another hero of mine, my wonderful mother. Her name is Fortune Aden, and in 2007 she actually left Canada. It's always been a dream of hers to come back to Mogadishu and work in Somalia, and when my father was still alive, they actually used to work together. A lot of people, they used to call them one person that God made in two sexes, because they really had the same devotion and the same passion, and they worked together very well. And when 2007 came and she felt that my sisters and I were old enough to take care of ourselves and were mature enough to stay by ourselves, she actually made the move back to Mogadishu. And she came to lead the organization that is now known as Elman Peace and Human Rights Center. She came back in 2007 and she really stuck to a lot of the principles that were originally incepted by my father, such as sticking true to child protection and making sure to uphold and promote human rights for all people, regardless of anything. What she was also able to do is expand the services outside of just Mogadishu. We now have offices throughout central Somalia as well, and we intervene in many different areas such as livelihoods, education, protection, women empowerment, nutrition, and development, as well as human rights and peace building. So what she has really been able to do is to really bring back a lot of the people that used to work for Elman during the prime, and also recruit new people. She's a really big fan of bringing diasporas to come back to Somalia and helping help their own people. So when my mother came back here, she really made a really big impact on me, and I saw that a lot of people say that it's in my genes to do humanitarian work because of my mother and my father. But to me, it really it makes sense. It makes sense, and I feel like this is something that I need to be a part of. So originally, when I came back to Mogadishu, I had come back to visit my mother that I hadn't seen in a couple of years, to see how I could help, maybe do a little bit of administration work in the office. I was kind of scared about Mogadishu, and I didn't really know anything about it. When I first came here, I actually didn't really speak Somali at all. But after I stayed, I really picked up on the culture, and I saw that something that I did in one day helped somebody's life dramatically. And it didn't take a lot of effort from me, and it didn't take a lot of time. So I did not feel right not being here and helping anymore. So since then, I've stayed, and I have been in Mogadishu for the past 3 years now. And since my time here, I've worked in managing programs aimed at the rehabilitation and the economical reintegration of children involved in armed conflicts. I've also managed programs in providing alternative livelihoods for women and men and young boys and girls alike throughout South and Central Somalia. And most recently, my mother, with an admirable American activist named Lisa Shannon, and a Somali expert, because she's been working in Somalia for so long, named Katie Grant, founded the first rape crisis center in Mogadishu. And we named that program Sister Somalia. And because our main focus of doing this work has been protection, it's protection for all. It doesn't matter if the subject or the person that you are protecting is something that's very stigmatized. We feel like everybody deserves support. And rape, sexual violence, gender-based violence is an issue that is very, very underspoken in Mogadishu, in Somalia at all, completely, because of our culture. And when we started this first rape crisis center, we found an outpour of women so desperate for this support, and that we started providing them with medical care, we provided them with education, business grants, so that they could actually rebuild and reclaim their own lives, and also counseling, psychosocial counseling, which is something that is a foreign concept in Somalia. We are a very proud people, I've learned since I've been here, and we don't really believe in the concept of psychosocial counseling, but as long as, for the time that we've been doing it, it's been really catching on, and women really need that. And when we started this program, we have been blessed by actually getting in touch with a lot of international actors and a lot of different people all around the world who wanted to get involved and wanted to support that work. And then we were even able to partner with our Canadian counterparts and started a new program called She Will. And with that, we were able to start the first Somali all-young women basketball team that consisted of only survivors. And I remember the first day that we took those girls on the basketball court, they were so shy. They thought that a woman or a girl is not allowed to play basketball. I said, why? Give me one reason. How can a woman not play basketball? And there was nothing really behind it, but it's just the culture, and again, and it's something that they're taught, and the girls actually called themselves the elephants. And I want to tell you guys why they called themselves the elephants, because I thought it was so profound. I asked them, okay, pick a name that you guys feel describes you as a team. They brainstormed for a couple of days, and they came up with the name elephants because they said the elephant is one of the biggest animals in the kingdom, and it's one of the strongest animals in the kingdom. However, it's not a terror in its habitat. It has an unspoken grace, but when push comes to shove, it can definitely handle its own. And it's also a very smart and elegant and graceful animal, they thought. So all those characteristics, they felt them as survivors of violence and having been through oppression and being stigmatized and ostracized out of society, that this was the perfect symbol for them. And so they call themselves the elephants, and we are so proud of them. Since then, we have a lot of plans for the future. We've been able to work in many different areas in Somalia so far, but we hope to expand our services and our intervention in Somalia. And we also want to do something more that's sustainable, not just emergency. And I feel like by being here today at the rebirth of Mogadishu, it is so appropriate. I mean, right now, I've been here for 3 years, and I feel like this is the time that we need to be having the rebirth of Mogadishu. Things have changed dramatically. Mogadishu has progressed a lot, and I think by being here in front of you, the leading thinkers of Somalia right now, and also internationally for whoever's watching this stream, that they can see that there is a lot of things happening in Mogadishu right now that are not all bullets or killings or the massive human rights violations. There is life beyond the bullets and the ruins that people think that's all Mogadishu is. So being here today is incredibly inspiring for me, because I feel like it instills hope in all of us that there is more to come. And I'm so honored to be on this panel of speakers, because all these people are such innovators. They all have contributed something, and they have these great ideas on how to bring this country forward. And I remember when I first came here, Mogadishu was recently ranked as one of the 5th worst places in the world to be a woman. I feel by being here today at the rebirth of Mogadishu, very soon we will see this place ranked as something else, perhaps the most beautiful place in the world. And then one day, perhaps I'll be able to say, I had something to do with that, even if it was little. Thank you.